Hello guys, welcome back to another video. My name is Chief Dog 74 and let's get into this one. So today guys, what we're going to be doing is something, well, I'm not too sure what it's called actually, but I'm going to call it the pit stop challenge, where basically we have to use every single tyre, or pit for every single tyre, including the wets, and you can do it around any track and whatever. We're going to be the Lando Norris McLaren, so hopefully we can pull off a few last lap Landos. We're going to be doing it at Sochi, and yeah, so you don't have to, or you can use as many tyres as you like, or like how many laps you want to do for each tyre. You can change that up for whatever you want. It's on 0% AI. I chose to do it at sunset because you know, why not. And yeah, it's pretty fun. I'm not too sure whether someone else may have done this, but I don't think anyone's done it on this game, and it would be a good way to help me get used to pit stops, and yeah, we'll see how it goes, and I'll hand it over to Crofty now.
Welcome to the Black Sea resort of Sochi, host to Russia's first ever Formula One race. The drivers are getting ready, so let's join them for the start of the Russian Grand Prix. It's time to go racing then at the Sochi Autodrome, where the long run down to the heavy braking zone at turn 2 is one of 2 DRS zones around this 3.6 mile circuit. The other, of course, down into turn 13. 18 corners make up a lap here today, with an average speed somewhere in the region of 130 miles an hour. And what would any Grand Prix weekend be without the one and only Anthony Davidson, alongside me as always, to talk you through the action?
Well, it was a really impressive lap in qualifying to get pole position, but are they going to be able to hold on to the lead into the first corner with so many quick starters around them? A couple of favourites for the win then, but who comes out on top doesn't really matter as long as they give us an entertaining show en route to the checkered flag. And we want to see fair fighting, of course, out there on the track. Let's hope the stewards don't have to get involved too much today.
Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Valtteri Bottas lines up on pole position, and Lewis Hamilton completes the front row. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Verstappen, Albon, Sebastian Vettel and Leclerc, Grosjean, Norris, Perez and Esteban Ocon, Stroll, Sainz, Kevin Magnussen and Ricciardo, Raikkonen, Gasly, George Russell and Nicholas Latifi, Kvyat, and Antonio Giovinazzi starts from the back of the grid. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track.
So then, here we have it.
Okay, here we go. I know what you can do. Don't let me
Strategy doesn't matter at all because we're going to go completely off strategy, but we are going to increase the fuel, which we'll find out is very key later on, to 16 laps. This only has 13 laps and in a 25% race, but yeah, we're starting in 8th, so I think that's pretty good starting position, and we'll see how many we can climb to get to the top. Here we go then to 5 red lights here at Sochi, and it's underway, and we get a really good start. Obviously it's 0% AI. Leclerc almost just cutting us off there, but then we kind of cut him off, and then we're wheel to wheel with Hamilton there, and Bottas just slightly ahead of us there. We make the overtake on Hamilton, but let's have a replay of that launch, because we went from 8th to 2nd, so the lights went out. We went to the inside, and whew, that was well close to Leclerc just pushing us out there, but we were able to push him out, I suppose, and we get the position for P2. And then when we go round this corner, one you take usually flat out. We're very close to Valtteri, and we just get the overtake done there. So obviously kind of expected, but I'm happy that we got past all of the people that are holding us up for the first before the first sector finished. But yeah, so we're on ahead a bit. We've got fastest lap already, and we're already 10 seconds in front of Bottas. This is just finishing lap 2 onto lap 3. We get another fastest. DRS enabled, of course. But of course it's uneventful. As we come around to the last lap on this tyre, I believe, and we've got the gap to 16 seconds. I'm hoping that we can get at least in the top 10 in points paying positions, but really this is just a fun little thing that I decided to do, a fun challenge video, I suppose. But I've also got an online race where I got my first victory, to show you guys as well, and to show how good I am in the wets, like the intermediates. But anyway, here we go for the first pit stop. So I reckon we're gonna come out just behind all the top 3, like the top 3 manufacturers. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna pit for the wets now, so we can get the worst tyre done and out of the way, and then we'll do others later on. But yeah, the wets are terrible, as you would think, on a dry circuit, and I reckon this circuit's actually pretty cold because it's in Russia, so tyre temps, I mean, to be fair, that wouldn't even matter. I mean, because the tyres are going to be just so heated, and we take that corner terribly. And again, this you usually do flat out. I had to slow down here, and we go so wide on that corner because of just how bad the wets are. And you'll just see later on here, we've started to make a bit of a train, I suppose, and we just get attacked and exposed by all these people as we go in. And of course, since this is one of the worst tyres, I'm making sure to not stay on it for too long. So we're going to pit this lap as well, and we're going to switch to the hard tyre, but we're already down to like P12, P13 because of how bad in just that last sector, really. And there's a train there as well, which we're having to deal with, and we go so wide on that on the way into the pits. In fact, if that was an actual thing, that wouldn't, I don't think that'd be allowed. But yeah, we come in for a hard tyre, and we're going to be sent all the way to the back of the grid, because of course our tyres weren't, well, they just weren't great. Wet tyres on a dry track, I have seen some people from like last game do that, so may try it out for myself as well. But we catch up soon enough, just on the same lap 5, and overtake Latifi. So already making our way up the grid, and we will use the hard tyre for the longest time, because of course that tyre will be very good. But cars behind have well, in front, if you want to say, have pitted, and we, Jesus Christ, I was coming in so quickly and the AI just brake all of a sudden, so I had to, whoa, that was well, that was quite quite the overtake. Only just doing it. I thought I was going to go straight into the back of Russell there, and we get kind of squeezed later on in this lap by, I think it's Magnussen, because I think Grosjean is just ahead, and we've got Raikkonen or Giovinazzi to overtake, which we get done before that next corner. So happy days there. But just saying, just let her slightly on a bit, and we've just overtaken 2 cars inside to outside on that. The reason why I was in that camera, of course, so was because it didn't get a great shot of it. So, but yeah, really good overtake there. We overtake our teammate as well, just on the next lap, lap 8. So I reckon we're slightly over halfway, and we're already catching up to Ocon in P7. But then you've got Albon, who's like 13 seconds ahead, so I was like, oh my god, that's so fast. We actually make contact with Ocon and run around the outside to get the overtake done. But at this point I was thinking, right, well, I suppose we should probably go into the pits. But then I looked at my mini-map and I saw that the cars ahead were going into the pits, so I was like, oh, if I stay out just for this 1 lap longer, then we'll be able to make a really bold move, as you can just see us in the left hand side there. But we can make a really bold move where if we stay out a bit longer, then we'll be able to soar past them because of how quick we are versus 0% AI, and we'd be all good. We'd be able to get some more overtakes done, more positions gained, which I think is actually really crucial to what happened for us getting good points here. But Albon goes into the pits because we caught him up, and we go on to the intermediums. So of course not ideal tyres, but they're not as bad, and all the other cars are making their pit stops now, like their normal ones, but of course we're making a bit of a different one, and tyres just teleport to their hands, because also Carl Seitz decided to pit for actual good tyres, the mediums, which we still have left to do. So we started on softs, we went to wets, and then we went to hards, then we're on to mediums now, intermediates, and then it's mediums next. So I feel like the challenge is going alright so far. We go really wide on that corner though, because of the, well, for obvious reasons, intermediates aren't very good on dry tracks either. Not as bad as wets, but not quite good enough. But we're making progress. There's cars ahead that well, I don't think we're going to catch. If anything, we're going to make the gap bigger, and the gap to other cars behind us longer. So but I think that we would, well, we're definitely going to pit this lap, because intermediates is not going to make us gain any positions. But I think once we enter the pits, I don't think we should make too little overtakes. Just switching tyres to mediums there. Also Grosjean got out just slightly earlier. I can't remember why. I didn't really check, and I kind of forgot when I was looking at the highlights, but we go into the pits and perfecting it almost there, so obviously this challenge is also paying off there, but the massive long train of cars behind us is starting to make it into the pits, and I'm quite okay with the clutch mechanism now as well, so that's always good. But yeah, P12 at the moment, P13 now as Kvyat, or not Kvyat, Gasly just overtakes us there. But we'll be using this compound all the way, the medium tyre of course, and we come out just ahead of Kvyat. But now we look to, we've got lots of ERS, and we're sure to be deploying our fuel as well, perhaps a bit later on though, because at the moment we're still running low, even though I made that massive top up. So yeah, not too good for the strategy. Perhaps could have gained a few more places a bit quickly if I had better fuel, or more fuel, but that may have slowed me down at the start as well. So I feel like we got the balance right, and you'll see at the end as well. But we do just make the overtake on Gasly, and I thought it was all good and fine, but we go wheel to wheel with him, and I decided to just try and use rich mix, but in the end just get the dive bomb done on the AI. Lewis Hamilton has just crossed the finishing line there, so we're not too far, and Science just up ahead, so our teammate, and we look to have a go on the inside, and we just about make it, making no contact. That was pretty close, so let's just have a quick replay of that. And cool, that was fine margins there, but clean overtake of course. And speaking of clean overtakes, around we go the outside, and we've just passed both of the Renaults on the way past, just slightly ahead on lap 12. So, and we're not quite done yet because Stroll's just up ahead, which we can overtake nice and easy, and that'll make us into P8. So last lap Lando, kinda, I suppose it's kinda last lap Lando, but again that camera angle wasn't great for there, but we do just get past that section in fine style as well, and we make the move on Stroll as well, so very good overtaking from us. But as I said, last lap Lando, I suppose it's not quite last lap, but you know, definitely using the last lap Lando spirit, and also we're making having a look to overtake Perez here then, as we go darting inside, just doing the bit of the dive bomb, and it's up into P7, so looking like we're going to be on target for that nice points paying positions. But let's not just hold off yet. We've got to give everything we've got to see where we can overtake. But I'm not feeling too likely as we come across the line. We do get a purple sector, but Albon is 10 seconds ahead as we passed. But I did think, oh, if we can get this done, this would be amazing. So the last lap, and we got relatively small amounts of overtake, some but not too much fuel, but we'll see how well we can do against some of these other cars. So already in the first sector we've cut the gap by 3 seconds, so it's definitely going to be quite close if we can contain this momentum.
Less than a lap of fuel now. The tank is empty.
Yep, so not too much fuel, but I am thinking let's just go for it. Absolutely send it to the last lap Lando, similar to Austria, where you had to try and make up that gap, wasn't it, to get to his podium. So this time it's the last lap Lando, and to try and get into P6, and Albon's just ahead, so we've really closed the gap. It's down to less than 2 seconds. Hamilton of course wins, but we're gonna make a pretty big late move there, and we do go just on the inside. We do touch, but we come across the line in P6.
Alright, race over. Take
Wow,
the on the way in.
I didn't think that I would be getting P6 there. We get driver of the day, and that was just amazing. So outdone Albon and all the other cars. An overall fun challenge. I definitely enjoyed it. So yeah, pretty good.
There's being quick, and then there's being quick lap after lap after lap. If you can do that, you can capitalise on other people's errors without making many of your own. And that's an approach that can push you a long way up the field.
So after a magnificent race, we can now see the drivers making their way to the podium. Once again, it's the Silver Arrows who take top spot, a well-earned victory for Mercedes. Some amazing talents out on the track today, but Anthony, who would you pick as your driver of the day?
I think for driver of the day, I'd probably pick Lando Norris. He lived up to every inch of his reputation today, and I think he'll be going home, quite rightly, a bit proud of himself.
Well,
So there you go then, a great race for us, P6 for us, P12 for Carlos. Let's just have a quick look at that last bit of the overtake there, the cherry on the cake, 'cause we just go so fine and we go straight down the inside. I didn't think he expected us, but yeah, brilliant. I actually really enjoyed that. That was one of the best challenges I've done in a while, for me. But yeah, just it's really cool. It was really good. But what I'm about to show you next is my first win online. Of course, at the moment servers are down, so I couldn't really do online then. But yeah, it was at Brazil, my favourite track, and well, this is kind of just to show why I'm great in the rain. Only intermediate, so not wet. So there you go then, we come across the line in first, but if you did enjoy, then be sure to hit the like button. If you want to go the extra mile, then go ahead and subscribe, comment comment, and I'll see you next time, guys.